CBFC cutting all kissing scenes from Superman abruptly but keeping all the stupid and vulgar scenes from Houseful 3 just shows how mentally and how dumb we are. It really feels like kisses are too bold, but these slapstick stupidity or vulgar nonsense are sanskaari entertainment, I think. Now the first part of the review was my frustration with the CBFC, but to be very honest, this has nothing to do with the extra amount of controversy Superman has been hounded with since the beginning of the project. Henry Cavill, the political stances, James Gunn and what not. It's been a discourse which was equally entertaining and alarming to witness. But now everything ends here because the movie is released. Now, was it a bad film or was it a hands-off masterpiece? Well, it's not that simple. Superman movie just lands so in between for me because it's neither a masterpiece nor a very bad film. I'm somehow in the middle of it. Now I'll try to explain what I liked and simultaneously what I didn't like with each point so that you can understand why I'm in this limbo of expressiveness of both liking it and disliking it at the same time. To start off, the Superman himself, David Corenswet. Now, David is amazing in this one. I found him absolutely true to being Superman. He's just palpable when you see him on screen. He's very expressive, very adamant, and you can genuinely feel the hope of Superman radiating from him. This abruptly explains why he was selected and why he is the Superman everyone wanted. Even James Gunn insisted with this, right? But here's the thing, there are side effects. So while this is a great point of him being this amazing Superman on screen, the flight sequences of the Superman just pulled me out completely. The action sequences and the fight sequences were pretty hit and mostly missed. To be very honest with you, the first 20 minutes were filled with abrupt notions and disbelief. You could just see the awkwardness. Some of the camera angles and visuals look extremely goofy. Now you might ask, why are you saying that? Well, because it did look goofy. To explain better, the Homelander flight sequences in the Boys series were much better than the... Now, what I saw here was some goofy Superman scenes that were something difficult to watch. It felt like watching a CW show, which ironically had better graphics and better flight sequences. Now comes to the second point. The portrayal of Superman completely does a 360. It's the hopeful version versus the godlike version Zack Snyder wanted to show. To just explain how stark the difference is, it's like Christopher Reeve's Superman, more happy, more bright, more colorful and more hopeful. But does this help? Well, Sometimes it feels jarring as well. You feel the lack of depth, you feel the cringe in the certain activities or the moments you see. But does this completely remove you from the screenplay? No, it hangs you on. It's the portrayal, the scenes, the action sequences that makes you cringe at times. It lingers around awkwardly and sometimes it just doesn't click. There's no great moment as per se, But I don't think the portrayal of the Superman is the mistake here. I would say the writing is too fast paced. It does not allow the character to stay in an emotional state for a meaningful amount of time. It just moves on and carries on rather than being present in the moment. But if you would ask me which version did you enjoy more, well, I grew up reading stuff like Injustice, Gods Among Us, Superman Red Sun, The Dark Knight Returns, Superman Earth 1, Superman Bright Right or Superman Emperor Joker. These are the comics that showcase the stronger, the darker, morally conflicted side of Superman. Now, I did read the lighter, brighter stories as well, like Superman The Golden Age Omnibus, Superman the classic stories by Otto Binder and Kurt Swan. So it depends on you which version you grew up with. This will determine how this new Superman hits you. Now, does this affect your experience? Is it that bad or is it amazing? It's just what you prefer, Now, Lois Lane is perfect in this film. She's actually so perfect. And to be very honest, among all the Superman movies and their timelines, all the Loises have been quite brilliant. And Rachel Brosnahan does the same here. She's absolutely phenomenal. You can enjoy her performance so much because she's part of the emotional core of the film. She's a woman who questions everything, while Clark Kent is the man who harnesses hopefulness from everyone around him. She's the complete opposite in this mindset, and that's what makes their chemistry so great. And she looks so amazing as well. She's so beautiful, and when she's on screen, you just feel happy watching her. She's just beautiful, man. She's amazing. Now, Krypto and Justice Gang. Krypto is literally the hope and ultimate might for this film. The dog is the soul of the sun, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see that James Gunn had this idea to work work his screenplay around the emotional and thematic value of Krypto, and it works brilliantly. The dog acts brilliantly too. But it wasn't amazing when you reveal, spoiler alert, that Krypto is not Superman's dog. It's actually his cousin Supergirl's dog. That twist felt kind of cringe, to be honest. Now, about the Justice Gang, Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl were amazing, especially Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion. Now he plays an amazing role. His cockiness and charm are on point. I just needed more of him, and that would have made things even better. Mr. Terrific also does his job brilliantly. The comedic works brilliantly here, and it all fits well. The only complaint, the Hawk suit is literally ridiculous. Completely dims the beauty of Isabel Merced, who plays Hawkgirl, by the way. Now coming to the screenplay and the James Gunn effect. Before continuing, I'll just say, screenplay actually hangs you on with all the on and off visual direction and emotional extract. It's actually quite brilliant, except during the emotional scene. As I explained earlier before, the emotional scenes needed more time to breathe. If you're watching a great, brighter, more emotionally rich Superman, then emotions need more time. And apart from Superman's father scene, nothing else is given enough space. Most moments are just rapidly glossed over, either for a joke or simply to move the plot along. More emotions would have raised the stakes as well, but the writing doesn't, because it doesn't provide the depth, you know. So now we enter the James Gunn effect. I've always said this, when something is so big, don't experiment. And unfortunately, James Gunn experimented a lot in this world. Sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. For example, the camera angle during a conversation where it starts flipping around, and it works on the Suicide Squad, but it does not work in Superman. It feels cringe, forced and unnatural, especially the scenes where the camera is literally on your face with a wide focal length, making the visuals look wrapped and nosy. That kind of camera setup doesn't work here. It looks like you're taking a piss of a serious argument, to be very honest with you. It's like watching an intense emotional debate, but someone stuck a fisheye lens in the middle. It's laughably odd, man. That's what happens when you try to experiment more than necessary. James should have kept it crisp, sharp and grounded. That would have worked much more. Ultimately, this is my complaint with Superman. James Gunn wanted this to become a James Gunn movie more than a Superman movie, and that's why 50% of it feels so empty. Now, not the last but not the least as well, Nicholas Hoult, the man of the match. This is very important. Nicholas Hoult is literally the best Lex Luthor we've ever had. Yes, even more than the better versions of Gene Hackman and the creepy looking guy we had in BVS. He's so obsessed, so evil, so calculated. He's the main villain, the main hierarch, the most knowledgeable man in the DC universe, and Hoult plays him beautifully. Every scene he's in is a treat. You feel like you're watching true villainy. He hates Superman to his core, man, and his hatred is visibly visible. You see it in his face, his movements, his words. He's the most refreshing part of the film. Just imagine the man actually auditioned for Superman and ended up getting Lex Luthor. What a twist in casting, and what a brilliant one at that. Now, altogether, the conclusion, your hope doesn't come from Superman's strength being in your face. You have to look for it. In certain scenes, in certain moments, only then you can understand how Superman strong is. He's constantly trying to contain himself so that he doesn't cause more harm. But from an outsider's perspective, you might think, why is Superman getting beaten up so much? Because that's how James Gunn perceives it. It's not loud, punchy, hopefulness. It's just subtle, where people will accept this hidden messaging that James Gunn chose for them. Maybe not. As I said, people wanted this to be Gunn's Superman. As I said, James wanted this to be Gunn's Superman rather than not Superman. But does this film work? Actually, pretty much yes. It's pretty good. It sets up the universe, it hints as an exciting future, and it raises the bar gently and thoughtfully. Now it's on you. With Superman, don't listen to the outside perspective. Don't believe people who say he's the best Superman or the worst Superman. It's your own opinion. Form your own opinion. Even if you're listening to me, don't go along with me. Watch it, see for yourself, make a decision on what you liked and what you didn't. That's all for today. If you liked this video, do subscribe to the channel and press the like button as well. I'll see you in the next one.